Steve here. This is actually a very difficult video to make. Actually, this is more of a remake of the first one I did, which I kind of screwed on. I'll get to that in a moment. Um, there's people out there who are struggling with physical and mental issues, and I'd actually like to take a moment and talk to you about my struggle with a. Well, I'm not sure if mine's more physical. As I guess it sort of is more like mental, really. Um, so that said, it's gonna be kind of a little difficult to talk about and try to elaborate as best as I can. And I even kind of typed stuff up on my computer too, so just so I could be able to say everything that I need to say. So, as a child, I was diagnosed with mild autism, right? As a kid, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have understood the concept of autism. Don't care about it really. But now here I am, almost 28 years old, and I think about it, and I just I see how different I am from everyone else. So, I like to try to blend in with people, but I kind of have a hard time doing that sometimes. Like, for instance, I go to church on a Sunday, and it was mostly older adults, and I kind of have a hard time blending in with them because I feel that, they're much older than I am, and I don't exactly have really anything in common with them, really. Not that I don't like them or anything, but I mean, I just kind of struggle to blend in with them. Also, back then as a kid, I would be a little antisocial. Like, I never really cared to interact with people much, but I mean, I've had a few friends then, so I pretty much just talk to them. I mean, it's better than nobody at all. But nowadays, I mean, I try to interact with more people. Old friends, new friends, all that, and I feel like I do just a tad better at it than before. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's not really enough, though. But, I mean, it should be enough, though. But I just get the feeling sometimes it's not enough. And I just feel like sometimes, my autism kind of prevents me from, being able to involve myself with people, especially when I want to be around them the most. Um, yes, I already mentioned like the church thing and the older adults and stuff. Um, See, I live in the countryside, so you mostly find like people over the age of 40 here, and yeah, and like, I'm like way under the age of 40, so I mean, as I said, I just don't feel like I could interact with them. There's not really much for me out here in the countryside anyway. I mean, I probably could find maybe a few adult friends my age here. Actually, some of them are about as young as 20 at least. But I'm like what 7 or 8 years older than some of them. So I mean, it's not bad, I guess. But I mean, it's better than nothing. But I guess sometimes you can't really find enough of them around here anyway. Um, Also, I kind of struggle with the fact that I'm single. I mean, I see like some of my friends are in like relationships and stuff, and and I'd be like, hey, why can't that be me with that girl? I mean, I know I don't really go out nearly enough to meet people and stuff like that, and so that's, as I said, there's not many young adults around here my age, so that's kind of tough though. I mean, I go out with friends, every once in a while. I mean, I don't do it like compulsively. So, I mean, not that I would expect you. Now as a teen or like entering my early 20s, yeah, I probably would want to do that, stuff like that. So, also, I see some of the young adults, they're getting married, they're starting families of their own, and yeah, don't get me wrong, yeah, I can be jealous of them every once in a while, but aside from all that, I'm happy for them. They're getting on with their lives, and come to think of it, when I think about that, sometimes I kind of worry about. I mean, I worry about if I'm ever gonna get. I worry about whether or not I'm ever gonna get married, have a family of my own. I mean, don't get me. I'd love to have that, but I just worry about that sometimes. But I'm surely my time will come eventually. So yeah, yeah, I do worry about leaving this world behind one day with no children, die, you know, dying a single man. Really, I shouldn't worry about that stuff, but I do every once in a while. I mean, not like compulsively, but just every once in a while. So yeah, lack of relationships uh, fill me with some pain, here and there. Just, I mean, not like every day, just every once in a while. But I shouldn't let that hurt me. But I mean, it's gonna come back and bite me in the ass either way. So, but like I said, that's not an everyday thing. That's just stuff that gets me every once in a while. Um, I mean, well, living in the countryside, there just really isn't anything for me out here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got a job. I mean, it ain't worth a crap, but I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid for it. I even have a good place to live. Uh, I don't own a home. I mean, it's owned by the couple that I currently live with, and so I'm pretty much just renting out a room, and they kind of think of me as family, and you say I'm like the surrogate son to them, and you know, I'm just I'm just I'm just very grateful that they've helped me out. Could couldn't be any happier there. Um, but you'll eventually hear about how I moved in with them. Not to mention, and also not to mention, living in the country. There's really, if there's any women my age or about close to my age, hell, even older, they're pretty much all married and taken and stuff like that. And I'm happy for everybody. And anyway, as I said, living in the just kind of living out here in the countryside. Really, I prefer to use the term countryside. I don't want people to confuse, well, the two different types of country. It's like United States. Well, you get the idea. Um. So anyway, yeah, kind of living in the countryside. It's kind of tough for me. There really isn't anything out here. Not really many opportunities to seize on. Um, and as I did mention, yeah, I do go out with friends every once in a while. Not compulsively, just every once in a while. So I mean, it's better. It kind of beats not being able to go out and see anyone really. Let's see. So yeah, it's kind of hard living with the autism diagnosis, but I'm just doing my best to keep my head held high, and I mean, well, yeah, it's difficult, but I mean, life goes on, and I'm just trying to live each day to the fullest, you know. And I shouldn't let anything like that bother me. Also, my mom, she passed away nearly 10 years ago, so I feel like in a way like her death kind of kick-started all this stuff in a way. I mean, it's like very, very, very slowly. There was this couple who had a couple of kids of their own, and damn it, fucking dogs. Anyway, there was this couple who had a couple of kids of their own, and they took us in. They took me and my brother Sean in prior to our mom passing away. And what's pretty shitty about it is my mom had just passed away 2 days after I turned 18. I had just barely turned 18. Sean was still 14 though, so yeah, we were still teenagers when she died. So if there's any kids out there who lost if there's anyone out there that have lost a parent while they were still a child, I can feel your pain. Yeah, that's pretty hard, but so yeah, I was just barely like becoming an adult and stuff when she passed away, and it's been a tough 10 years without her, but I've just been getting by, you know. Now this couple who had the 2 kids of their own. Now, I had lived with them for 7 years. 7 years, and guess now in that time period, at one point Sean went off to college, so I was pretty much left there so that we ended up so it was pretty much just the 5 of us in the house, and it just it just wasn't really easy, for me being there with the Hiltons, without Sean there. I mean, yeah, I would keep in contact with him. I mean, I try to keep in contact with him every now and then, but he doesn't fucking answer his phone. Excuse my language. I mean, I'm trying not to cuss as much. But anyway, so while Sean was away in college, and it was just me there with the Hiltons, and I felt like things kind of started to go downhill for me, really. And the lady of the house, Christina, was I mean, well, hell, she was always relying on me to take care of the house. I didn't have a job at the time, so, and she was relying on me to look at, just keep the house clean and stuff. We had her father-in-law living with us too, so she wanted me to kind of help take care of him. That was a pain in the butt though, but I mean, I still did it though. Well then he eventually passed on, and so of course it would just be me at the house while everyone else was at work and school. Of course, with the old man living with us, and the couple having a job and the kids going to school, I mean, there would have been nowhere there to take care of him, so I was just the extra hand. Personally, I think that he probably should have just been put into a nursing home rather than just be brought into our house, or, that sounds horrible. No, so they pretty much just had me take. And then, of course, he died, and then I'd just be the one home alone throughout the day. Hell, there were times that I wanted some friends. I wanted to be able to go out. But living in this one town, I mean, it just, as I said, it's part of the countryside. Um, didn't exactly feel all that comfortable because I didn't really know anyone here and or there or wherever, and there were times I was tired of being home a lot. I just wanted to. Hell, I could have just straight up went and got me a damn job. Hell, I've even tried to apply for a few jobs and never heard back from them really. Hell, that could have been a start for me. So like this is 2013, and we're like midway through 2013, and that's this is pretty much where my anger problem kind of comes in. Um, and Come to realize it like in the past few months, I felt like that this couple had this family had kind of mistreated me in a very rotten way. Um, you know, just them always constantly relying on me, was like either, you know, just kind of just, watch the house or some stuff like that, or take care of the old man, or babysit the kids, which I don't know what was worse, like taking care of the old man or babysitting the kids. Well, one of the kids was a special needs kid, and he was a pain in the butt. Anyway, so I see this as a tad bit of mistreatment, really, and I mean, I guess not that relying on someone really is being mistreated, but I don't know. So I felt like I was being mistreated, and it kind of it got me like super bitter. I was kind of constantly getting mad all the time because I wanted to get my way, and it was always their way. I mean, yeah, I lived in their house and stuff. I mean, I should be able to have some part of my way too. Um, so here's where I actually kind of blew my top for the first time. This was mid 2013. Of course, the special needs kid. Oh my goodness. He was feeding one of the dogs his food. I told him not to do it. He continued to do it, and I ended up putting the dog outside. He got mad. Probably brought the dog back in. I guess I can't exactly remember all what had happened, aside from the screaming off the top of my head that I did. And of course, and when that happened, his parents came out. His dad was trying to restrain me until I'd shut up. And so, I mean, yeah, I did eventually shut up. He turned me loose. I went and sat down like in the little corner of the kitchen where there were like little cabinets on the bottom. So, um, yeah, they were getting ready to go to a football game because the daughter was cheering there. And after what had just happened, um, they didn't want to leave their son there with me. So, because they probably didn't think he'd be safe with me. So they took him with him. I was home alone. I I eventually went in my room and just stayed there for the remainder of the day. Of course, the only time I'd come out is if I had to go to the bathroom to get something to drink. That was about it. Um, I think the next time I had a so yeah, this is like a verbal meltdown. In fact, this was the first of two verbal meltdowns I had. The next meltdown I had was like a week or two later. This one was a tad bit more physical and destructive. Luckily, nobody was home. It was just me home alone. Um, I was trying to check something out on the computer, and I discovered that the uh, password had been changed. And I got upset, kind of, and I lost my shit, and then I straight up started throwing stuff all over the floor. I was pushing stuff over, and I guess the meltdown kind of ended with me kind of kicking in this glass door that was on an entertainment stand, and it shattered. By the way, that was like one of the worst days of my life. And then after that meltdown, I just broke down, started crying. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? So I'm calling, texting my brother. I'm guessing I told him about what had happened, or I don't remember if I did or not. I know I think I might have texted help me. I think yeah, I pretty much went ape shit that day, and so I, so when I texted him telling him to help me or so, and and I'm guessing I told him about what had happened. So he contacted Christina, and she in turn contacted me, asked if I wanted to go to a hospital and get some help, for which I said yeah. So she leaves work, she comes home, she brings her mom, and I think she brings one other person. So so yeah, she takes me to this hospital where I get admitted. It's like a rehabilitation center or some stuff like that. For people who have like mental problems and who have all sorts of other problems. Like I don't know, I guess addictions or whatever. And I spent about nearly a week there, which I pretty much I kept my cool there. I didn't have to worry about anyone pissing me off or anything. So and probably before being released from the hospital, doctors had diagnosed me with impulse control disorder. So yeah, I have a tendency of getting upset very easily. um I mean, I don't usually have like meltdowns really. So I mean, if I lash out, I'm only gonna lash out like verbally. I'm not gonna lash out like physically. I really don't have it in me to get like physical. I mean, if I'm gonna get physical, I'd rather get physical with an object than with a person. Um. So yeah, I was diagnosed with impulse control disorder, and they eventually sent me on home. So, and of course, I didn't have another meltdown until like a little over a year later, which was another verbal meltdown. Um, I think the daughter of the house, she needed to use my phone to check her Instagram, which she did. Uh, After a while, I had wanted to get my phone back so I could listen to my music for a while before I went to bed, and she refused to get off of it, and that triggered my temper, and I started verbally lashing out at her. I was like, "Give me my phone! Give me my phone!" And she was like sitting right there, like in the corner on the side of her bed. So I pretty much like had her trapped in. Oh man, I'm sure she was scared shitless. And then like the mom and the brother come in, find out what's going on, and she straight up tells me to get out of the house. So I go. Um, I'm straight up packing a bag, and I go and spend the night with the next door neighbor. And I went to work from there. What was it? The next morning, some guy picking me up. Of course, the roads and shit were icy stuff. Um, Yeah, of course, when I got off work, then I walked home. I went back to the neighbor's house to get my stuff, and then I went home. And yeah, home was not the one place I wanted to go. I didn't really want to go back there, but I went anyway. Um, yeah, I didn't exactly tell much of anyone what had happened the night before. Well, I told Sean, and I think I told my boss at work too. So yeah, so guess in the later years that I lived with this family, I felt like it was just the hardest for me. Of course, we were kind of falling on some hard times. Um, the man of the house, Greg, kind of got tired of. Well, he's a utilities worker, and at one point he got tired of going out of town all the time. Well, his job required him to go out of town on a weekly basis, so he got tired of it, quit, bought out this auto shop, and he became the boss there. But of course, they weren't really making enough. They were making like very little to not enough money, really. So that didn't work out for him, and he ended up going back to being a utilities worker and going back out of town on a weekly basis. Um, the lady of the house, Christina, she had a medical billing job, which she eventually quit, and she eventually got a job working at this little jump zone where people going like up in an airplane and then they jump out and parachute and stuff like that. So yeah, but I hear she kind of got fired from that job too. Well, this is like long after we moved out of that other house. So so yeah, we were in the process of yeah. So you can say we were kind of struggling for money a bit, or they were. Well, yeah, we kind of were in a way. Um, yeah, we were struggling with money to the point where kind of got evicted out of our house. So and then so I go to this young couple that I worked with. I asked them if they were looking for a roommate. Well, they didn't specifically give me an answer. They were about to have a baby anyway. So this one guy, well, actually, he's the one I asked most, and he goes to this lady that I currently live with. Um, and I guess he tells her I'm looking for a place to stay. So he comes to me and say, "Hey, Carmen's looking to." Well, how do I put this? Well, he told me that Carmen would let me come stay with them like if I wanted. So, and I was like, okay, well, let me see about you first. So I kind of waited days for an answer from him and his girlfriend, and they never got back to me. So I messaged the lady that I currently live with. I messaged her husband, and so I told him I would take them up on their offer to, and I've been with them ever since. And well, we weren't living in this house at the time when I first moved in. We were living in another house. It was it was actually a house that the Stephen's grandfather built ages ago. But anyway, yeah. So I've been with them for about 3 years now. Come November. Um, I mean, I think being here kind of beats living with the Hilton family really, because I don't have to worry about much bullshit really, and I mean I don't have to worry about anyone getting on my nerves really. And don't get me wrong, I mean the kids in the Hilton household, I mean, yeah, they were pains in the butts, but I know they're good kids, and haven't really seen much of them probably ever since I moved out. Probably the only time I saw them was maybe we went to a movie. Got with them about a couple of Christmases and a New Year, and I think I might have been in contact with him, and I was like in contact with him by phone and Facebook maybe about a few times. But I think like after the last time I had texted him, I think it was about several months ago. I haven't talked to him ever since, so probably don't think I'm going to either really, because I just feel that's what's best for me. Sean don't even keep in contact with them. How we were talking one day, and I brought them up, and he was saying something about them not being very good people. I was like, well, yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, I don't know. That's just So yeah, when I think about my autism, the anger problems, and the couple that mistreated me that eventually led to my anger problems, just fills me with a lot of emotional pain, really. So yeah, it kind of gets me depressed every once in a while. Sometimes the thought of it gets too much to the point where I want to take my own life, really. Yeah, suicide. I'm talking about suicide, and I shouldn't let this stuff bother me. But I mean, it's gonna bother me probably nonetheless, and I think there's been a time or two where I've actually tried to commit suicide, and thankfully it didn't work out. Um, well, I felt like, I feel like my brother would definitely be the biggest support system I have. Um, well, this couple here too that I live with, I'm sure they'd be my big support system. Um, and I've got some friends, that are, I'm cool with. I'm sure there'd be very good support systems for me, and especially this girl that I met on Twitter, who happens to be from California. We're pretty cool and all, and she'd definitely be a good support system for me too. I mean, how we send each other like snaps and stuff, and it's cool. Um, I'm I am just I'm very grateful for these people. I mean, they're my friends, and I just want to say, and I love them from the bottom of my heart. I do. I honestly don't know where the hell I'd be without them. So in fact, these are people that these people are the reason I smile every day. I go on living my life, and they keep me going. Yes, they keep me going. Carmen, Steven, my brother Sean, old friends like Evie, Jordan, Charlie, Taylor. Oh, friend Daniel that I go to church with. Yes, I'm the girl I met on Twitter who's from California. Yes, y'all are all my reason that I smile every day. Y'all are the reason I keep moving. I'm moving forward in life, despite whatever brings me down. I'm still going forward. But hey, those are just like road bumps for me. And they can maybe slow me down a bit, but it's not going to stop me. Also, most importantly, God is the reason that God is by far the biggest reason why I'm still here and why I'm still living my life. Because He ain't done with me. I'm sure he's got a plan. He's got a plan for me just as much as He does for everyone else. So for everyone who struggles with issues like these or something similar, look, you're not in this fight alone. I'm right there with you. We're all in this together. So my advice to you: just keep on fighting, because we're gonna this is not just a fight. This is a battle, and we're gonna win this battle eventually. The victory is coming one day. Um, I just um, hopefully you'll watch this video, and you'll feel empowered and encouraged, and just keep fighting. Also, remember, it's a there's plenty of people out there that don't prefer to talk about their issues with others. Sometimes we fear that these people have never exactly experienced what we experience. But wouldn't hurt to talk about it with them, and you know I'm sure they just want to be very supportive of us. And we could use that support. We could really use it. Just remember, keep on going. Just keep moving forward in life, no matter what gets you down. So remember, suicide is not the answer. It's never the answer. And I know that from the bottom of my heart. Look, so yeah, take the time, sit down, talk about this with someone that's willing to listen. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there willing to listen. And just remember, you got people there for you. God is by far the biggest one that's always here for us. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your heart as well. And I know this was a very difficult video to talk about, and you know, living with autism, some you know, anger problems and tad bit of depression. I mean, it's not easy, but I mean, it's painful, but I'm just doing my best to get by in life despite these struggles, and I'm just doing the best I can to cope. The best is all we have. Remember that. So again, to any of my friends that I send this video to, you watch this, I just want you to know I love you from the bottom of my heart. You know who you are. And then thank you guys. I just want to thank you guys for being the coolest friends that I have and sticking by me through whatever thick and thin or whatever. And everything I say, I just hope you continue to stick by me, despite these struggles, because you know I need the support. I mean, I need the support just as much as everyone else does. So just again, Evie, Jordan, Yosima, Daniel, all y'all out there, just remember, you guys hold a special place in my heart. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for being the coolest friends that God has ever sent to me. I may not have asked for him, but hey, he sent you guys to me for a reason, and I'm grateful. And I'll continue, and I'm gonna continue to stick by you guys as much as I'm sure you'll stick by me. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Want to take a moment to talk about this, and thank you.